Hi everyone, again, this is Josh Elbow. I saw a video on Instagram about Kevin Hart when he first met Jeff Bezos. It was on Joe Rogan's podcast. He was talking about what happened, what the experience was. He was with his wife and a friend. He was at a dinner party or something of that sort. He saw Jeff Bezos. He wanted to go introduce himself. The video will better explain exactly how everything happened. But when I saw it on Instagram, it made me think of experiences that I've personally had that could completely relate to business and personal development and growth and like becoming the best you and scaling up, whether it's your fitness, your business, your happiness, whatever the case may be that you're looking to grow in. So I wanted to share this video with you. Hope you all enjoy. If you're new to the YouTube channel, my only ask is that you please like and subscribe. So if you do that now, it'd be very, very appreciated. Other than that, let's watch the video.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
What was the motivation to do this? Was there a one thing, or was it a build up?
Me being one of the only black guys in our entertainment space, because there's a handful of us that get to look behind the curtain. You know, there's a curtain, there's another room, and there's a curtain, and in that room is some shit. You're like, God damn, I didn't know y'all was fucking doing this back here. I didn't know y'all was getting this type of money back here. Y'all been doing this for how long? This is how it happens. There's a room that you get in, and the information and understanding that comes in it. It's unreal, the stuff that you start to discover.
This kind of reminds me of multiple meetings I've had with people going through the 10K and incentives. Especially, I can think of one mentee that I had this year specifically. We sat down, he signed up for the program, he paid the upfront amount, and we sat down and I was showing him all the different incentives, and he's like, obviously 10K is not unreal. So he's probably talking about like hundreds of millions of dollars, at least tens of millions of dollars. But let's say potentially 50 to 100 million, because I know he makes a good chunk of change. But when you see these things, like the backdoor things, like, and this isn't backdoor, this is super mainstream. I talk about it all over my channel about how to get the free cash between the banks and the government and the business incentives, because there are incentives to do things that the government and the banks want you to do. So that's how it works. They're willing to pay you cash to do those things. Just exactly how like taxes are an incentive system to not pay taxes. But if you take jobs and you take housing, then you pay taxes because you're taking and consuming versus producing. The government wants you to produce for the country. And if all of the parts producing, the sum of those parts is going to be greater than what it would be individually as a whole. But when I sat down with him, he was shook. He was like struck. He was shocked by the fact that he had made a couple $1,000s just by sitting down with me and filling out some paperwork. He had made a couple $1,000, and that's all it took. And I show plenty of people this. It's all over my channel. I can show plenty of like chase.com. It has nothing to do with me. I just show people how to do it because it's unbelievable, and I didn't believe it at first because free money is not real, but it is, and now it's completely wrong. And later in the video, you'll see why I picked this video, because it also relates to that too.
But it's a discovery. It's a discovery. You got to stumble upon this treasure of information and discovery. And if you don't, maybe you're in the right environment and you hear some stuff and you can ask some questions, but 9 times out of 10, it's not offered. It's a search and find.
I feel like I relate to this because I've gone out and looked for these different incentives versus like people generally. Aside from if you happen to be following me and you see me posting about the incentives, like you have to go look for these things in order to get paid from them. Which is the same with business, which is the same with improving your health, which is the same with improving your relationship. Life is learning, life is being a continued complete student forever and finding ways to self-improve. And you have to keep searching and finding these things, because even if you're there but you don't know them, it's wasted power.
And when I was constantly in those situations and I found myself saying, so how? But why? Well, then what did you do?
Right.
Damn, after that, then what? What the fuck did you, how did that even work? I was in a room with Jeff Bezos and Robert Kraft. This was the Patriots that won the Super Bowl. And we're in like this little private room after, and Tom Brady is like giving a speech thanking Robert for all. Robert thanks Tom. And I'm with my wife and a friend, and Jeff Bezos walks in.
This is where it gets juicy.
My friend there go Jeff Bezos. I said, oh shit, I'm gonna go say what's up. I said, that's a motherfucker, I would love to pick his brain. That's an interesting individual. No, don't do that. What do you mean don't do that?
Who said don't do
My
that?
friend. No, don't do that. Why? What are you talking about? Why you gonna do that, Kev? It's a room full of people. Don't look like the dude that's thirsty. Thirsty for what?
The amount of time and people, the worst part, one of the hardest things for me is seeing whether it's family, friends, the people that are close to you. Again, he brought his friend, his wife and his friend to a Super Bowl party. Tom Brady's there, Robert Kraft's there, Jeff Bezos is there. It's all high-level individuals. And Kevin Hart's a high-level individual. But that doesn't make his friend that he might care about also a high-level individual. He doesn't understand the thought process of, oh, I can learn something from that guy. And I think back in, Kevin doesn't talk about it, but I think the confidence of Kevin comes from he knows the value he brings to the table. But his friend might not, whether it's self-esteem issues or whatever the case may be. Kevin's built his self-confidence. If he wasn't born with it for the first 7 years of his life, he's built it up now because he knows his value that he brings to the table. So he has stuff to offer when he has a conversation with Jeff versus his friend may not. And I've seen this with so many people just close to me, and it kills me. It hurts for me to see it because you want everyone to, like, you think everyone would like just get this, like it's common sense. You're in the same room with almost $1 trillion per man and probably going to be the first trillionaire, and you're not going to take the opportunity. What's the fear? And he talks about that too. You'll see.
For fucking information, dick face. we got into like a little fucking spat. For what? For fucking information? I want to fucking say, hey, I want to see my face. I want to ask him some questions. I ain't gonna see this man no more. I don't know him.
Another point. He's about to say, he's like, we're not on a first name basis. These opportunities may not come up often. Whether this could be you see a pretty girl and you want to go talk to her across the room and your buddy's like, oh, nah, don't go do that. What do you mean, bro? What are you talking? Why would I not go do that? I want that. I'm going to go get what I want. Not everybody, family and friends. And you're going to see it a lot in growth and business. And like, if you want to be a high level individual, you're going to see it a lot, unfortunately. And the only thing you can do, in my opinion, is just love them more and understand that that's where they're at. It's not judgmental. It's just have empathy for where they're at because their thought process isn't not even as enlightened, but they're not where you're at yet. And that's okay. You can still love them just the same. And don't be hurt because they're not where you want them to be. And have the self-esteem to do it anyway, even though they're pushing you to not do it. Push yourself harder.
We're not on a phone number to phone number basis. I'm going to say what's up to him. All right, Kev, I'm just saying, in this environment, just chill. It's relaxed. And that shit start to click to me. That's the problem. Everybody's too cool. Everybody's too fucking cool.
Perfect example. I was talking with a business partner this week. She was telling me about a friend who's afraid to do marketing because the other people that she works with don't do marketing to get clients. Let's say it's the esthetician business because it's similar. Doesn't want to do marketing because then she'll look like she's trying too hard. And I had this issue with an attorney where he didn't want to do marketing because he didn't want to look like he was trying. Question comes down to, do you want to make money or do you want the people that you work with to like you? You can have either. You may be able to have both, but when it comes down to you get to pick one or the other, how the fuck do you not choose the money? Because the self-esteem's not there, which you can build. Anybody can build it. I've had to build it. I continue to build mine. But it's so fucked when you see it. And you have to be able to overcome it and push yourself past these other people with limiting beliefs, which is what it is. But you're stronger than any of their limiting beliefs and your own. So don't let either of them stop you. Seriously.
Right.
Everybody wants you to think that they know. You don't know. You don't know shit. We don't know shit.
There's one Jeff Bezos.
There's fucking one.
He's right there.
Almost trillionaire. Hey, Jeff.
Come here, man.
Hey, man. First of all, explain a trillion to me. What is that? How many zeros? What is that?
First of all, do you know how excited he must be to talk to you, too?
Who knows? I'm going to fucking find out.
I would say my first mentor, Keith Kochner. I went to a seminar and then I joined his mentoring program. The main thing I took away from his seminar was that if you don't ask, you'll never know. I'll give you two perfect examples. I was at a party, and in the garage of the party was a 68 Camaro, a Cadillac ATS-V, and a Dodge Viper. It was either a V10 or a V12, one of the two. So I walked up to the owner of the house because it was, and I said, "Can I drive him?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure." And immediately, as soon as I asked, "Can I drive him?" And he had already said yes, but as he was saying yes, he came up and said, "Oh, no, he doesn't need to drive him." And I mean this because I was younger, so I'm not going to obviously be disrespectful back. Nobody asked you. You don't have any risk in this game. Just because you don't have whatever you want to call it to ask to drive these cars doesn't mean I don't. I'll give you another perfect example again with cars. I was at a coaching meeting for a network marketing company, and one of the people at the party, this was at the time I was looking at E-Class convertibles. I really wanted an E-Class convertible. They were like 20 to 30K. I was like, okay, bet, that's easy. I would have it completely paid for by a cash flowing asset, so I wouldn't be paying any cash out of pocket. It was worth it to do, and I liked it. So I was like, okay, bet. One of the women at the party pulls up in her brand new I think this was 2019 at the time. So it was a brand new, like same year, 2019, not convertible, but it's E-Class. Walked right up to her. I already had a relationship with her. She loved me. I love her, like family friend. Walked up to her, and in front of probably like 10 to 12 people, I was like, can I test drive your car? First thing she said, yeah, sure, go ahead. Tosses me the Benz keys. 9 other adults that are probably like 40, 50 all look at me like, whoa, like, did he just ask that? If you don't ask, you don't know. It wasn't saddening, but like the seeing, not like the look in their eyes of confusion, because they haven't admitted to themselves, I felt, all of the times that they wanted to drive a brand new Mercedes. I think brand new Mercedes are fucking sweet, unapologetically. But the amount of times they've wanted to drive the new Mercedes, or go sell it to a different client that they haven't talked to before, but they want to go walk in and talk to them, or go find that hot girl that you want and you want to get. Don't go ask. You're never going to find out. It's a guaranteed no. But you have control. So you have to give up that. You have to free yourself of that facade of control, because it's all fraud. It's not, you don't really have control. You're controlling your failure. That's what you're doing. If you want to be successful, you have to give that up and be willing to fail. I guess one of the things I've been thinking about lately too is failing a lot forward, which is why the name of my podcast was going to be Mistakes Were Made, because of all the mistakes I've made. And that's why my whole YouTube channel is just about mistakes I've made. But I guess maybe this is my first video about things I might have done decently right. But I guarantee there's examples with like hot girls that I've passed on that I could have gone and walked up and been like, hey, what's up? And kept it simple. Or gone into businesses that were like, oh, the owner's there, but I don't want to talk to him. Walk in, say what's up, introduce yourself, bring the value that you have to the table. Keep it simple.
I'm gonna fucking find out. You know what I did, Joe?
What?
Hey, man, I'll be right back. Babe, come on. Took my wife with me. Hey, Jeff, I'm Kevin Hart. How you doing, man? Hey, Kevin. How are you? Jeff, this is my wifey, Nico. Hey, man. I admire you.
Perfect. Doesn't ask for anything. Another thing, these poor people with poor beliefs has nothing to do with dollar amounts. Poor people, poor quality of life with poor limiting beliefs. He knows that he doesn't bring anything to the table. When Kevin walks up to him, he doesn't say, hey, Jeff, I want to ask you a bunch of questions at this meeting right now. Because Kevin's not poor, so he's not selfish. Poor people are selfish. That's why they're poor. It's the way they act. Everything is everything. Rich people with rich quality of lives, who happen to have more money too, are not selfish, which is affluence, which is abundance. It's so black and white. But it's all based on his actions and his friend's actions, and that's why him and his friend are in 2 different places in life. When he walks up and he says, I admire you, doesn't ask for shit, wants to give him a compliment, wants to give, and leave the void there that has to be filled by receiving. Perfect approach. I love it.
I don't fucking know anything about that world and death, but I admire you. I admire you for being a guy that fucking created and accomplished some shit that is a phenomenon. I want to shake your hand. I would love to talk one day.
Come up. I want to give you a compliment and pay you respect. Nothing for me. It would mean a lot to give you this. Beautiful, beautiful approach.
Kev, hey man, good meeting you. Quite sure we'll bump past one day. Hey, if we do or don't, you gonna remember this. I just want to tell you I admire you. I don't need shit. I'm not asking for anything. But what I did...
Exactly. From the selfish standpoint, the poor friend knows that he wants something that Jeff has. Be it money. That's why he's got limiting beliefs. He wants something from other people versus just wanting to give endlessly, freely to other people. Just what Kevin wants to do. He's not asking for anything. He wanted to pay him a compliment. Pay him a respectful compliment. He wanted to give to him. Just the complete difference. Rich people give, poor people take, which is why the incentives are set up. That's a whole different thing with the tax code. But it's so black and white. and completely clear of the difference between the mentalities.
I set myself up for another conversation for when I got the opportunity.
And it's a touch point. If he doesn't do that, and poor people think short term too. So people with limiting beliefs think short term because it's not about this transaction. It's not about the next 5 minutes that he talks to Jeff. He might not see him for another 10 years, but when he does, if he does see him in 10, 20 years, he's going to be able to say, hey, it's been a while. He can make him laugh. He can continue to create the relationship there with a touch point, because now he has multiple touch points building up on that. It's long term. So rich people with rich quality of lives has nothing to do with financial. Rich people with rich, affluent, abundant mindsets and quality of lives think long term. People with poor, selfish minds think short term, transaction, me versus give.
You're talking here, but I'm going to come over, man. I admire you. I want to fucking ask you a bunch of questions about this Amazon shit.
And it's not that, okay, exactly. It's not that it's not there that he wants to ask questions. But he has the fucking balls and the discipline to wait. Quit making it about you. Again, patience, short term, long term. So beautiful, so clear, so black and white.
And ask you how you came up with it. I don't think this is the time or place, but I want you to see my face.
I love this so much. There's so many points that just show what the abundance life is about. And it's not taught. You have to go and find this, like he said. So one of the points is you have to go be searching, remain a student. You have to be giving and not selfish. To be rich, you have to be giving and not selfish. Poor people are selfish. I'll say that a bunch of times because I need to get it through their head, because they've been programmed to think that the rich are selfish and greedy, which is the biggest load of bullshit. The amount of jobs Jeff Bezos has created, the amount of jobs and money that Elon has put into things, and the opportunity to be at that level if you work hard and smart enough, the most beautiful thing. That's why I like America. It's not too bad here. Now, I hope you appreciate my take on this video. Again, please leave the like and subscribe. If you don't like the video, leave a thumbs down. Let me know in the comments. Where do you agree? Where do you disagree? Let's talk. Let's grow together. Thank you so much for watching. See you all in the next video.